Hi, this is John Steffi for ProduceGeek.com. Today, we're talking fall hard squash. And you know what? Really, they can go by hard squash, fall squash, winter squash. All three names mean the same thing, but historically, they're in peak season at the very end of summer, going into fall, and they're so hard that they store for a very long time. In fact, when you buy this at the supermarket, you can keep it on your counter for several weeks. So, what do you look for when you select hard squash? Make sure they feel heavy for their size. And here, let's learn more about them. These are the big three: spaghetti, acorn, butternut. It's what you'll find at the supermarket this time of year. So, what do you do with a spaghetti squash? Well, these yellow oblong squashes inside have flesh that turns into basically like a spaghetti pasta after you cook it. So this is one, a nice deep yellow ripe one that's been cut in half. You would scoop out the seeds, cover this with saran wrap, put it in the microwave for about, let's say, 7 minutes. And when it's done, you let it cool just long enough to be able to hold it, and you get a fork and you pull out the flesh, and it's actually this nice spaghetti. It has a real sweet, nutty flavor. It's kind of crisp, delicious. A very low calorie, high vitamin substitute for pasta. Acorn squash. These are very, very easy. Simply cut it in half, scoop out the seeds, place them face down in about 1 inch of water, and bake them at 350 for a half hour or until you can poke it easily with a fork, and they'll be ready to eat. They've got a very sweet flesh. It's kind of fibrous, but some people actually don't like to put them down. They actually put them face up in the oven, bake them for a little bit longer, but they have butter and brown sugar or cinnamon, some of those type of fall flavors baked right inside, and serve them that way. Delicious. Look at this orange gold. This is the classic butternut squash. A very, very moist, fleshed squash. They're perfect for soups. So a lot of people will chop them, or scoop out the seeds, they'll chop them up and boil the pieces and then puree it for their butternut squash soup. Delicious. You can also use that same puree as a substitute for pumpkin and pumpkin pie. But you know what I like to do with butternut? I love to roast it. So here are some cut up pieces. I roasted. First of all, I tossed some carrots, butternut squash, cauliflower, tossed it with some olive oil, roasted it at 450 degrees for 15 minutes on one side, 12 minutes on another. I had seasoned it before I put it in the oven with what's called a Centennial spice from Penzeys Spice. Delicious. So, these are the basic three. Check out ProduceGeek.com for what's best right now. Here's to fresh.